what are the immediate steps to restrict fossil fuel consumptions that we should be focusing on? And how do we keep the balance between focusing on growing industrialization and also abiding by the climate goals and restricting fossil fuel usage?
Yeah, yeah, I'll take that if you don't mind. So yeah, you're right. I think India's electricity sector is very heavily reliant on coal, and the numbers from last financial year actually shows that it's around 73%. Actually, 73% of India's electricity comes from coal, and India is a developing country. India has development needs, and the bottom line is that India's development in the short term is very much linked to, like, burning coal. There is no two ways about it. So what needs to happen? See, first of all, if we want to make sure that the coal generation peaks or even plateaus and then goes down, what needs to happen is that you need an alternative source which will allow us to do that. At the end of the day, none of us would want any power cuts, right? So everybody wants the power on, but right, the reality is that we are dependent on coal. But having said that, it is not all doom and gloom, because India has very ambitious renewable energy targets in the short term and also in the long run. So India currently has a 175 gigawatt target. It's another issue that India is slightly behind the curve on its own targets. But I think the first thing that needs to happen for us to plateau or peak, coal generation, is to make sure that you have an alternate, source of alternate source of cleaner energy. So that's the first side. Second side is the coal side. Because India is heavily reliant on coal, there are many legacy issues. And what do I mean by that? There are a lot of power plants. There are a lot of jobs associated with. There are a lot of mining jobs. There are a lot of power plant jobs. So there needs to be a systematic way in which you address challenges associated with those things. So when you ramp down, it's not just a case of ramping down coal generation. It is also making sure that everybody in the ecosystem, also is given with tools necessary to actually follow that pathway. That's the second aspect. And the final aspect is the ecosystem itself. So what I mean by ecosystem is that you need to have a power system which is compatible to the variable nature of renewables. So you need that. So that's a technical challenge. And then you have the financial side of the things. So right now, the finances, few years, I see a question in audience interaction that coal is inexpensive. It was inexpensive 5 years back, but now things are changing, especially solar and wind. They are one of the cheapest tariffs in the world is in India, and it is much cheaper than coal at the moment. New coal plants is what I'm referring to. At the same time, with battery storage costs are also expected to come down by 2025. So there is technological viability there is financial viability there, and that is driving the transition currently.